Hey, what is going on, guys? Luke Wayne here. Hope you guys are all having a fantastic day, and as always, remember, high hopes, low expectations, especially with this game. The game we're going to talk about today, Gotham Knights. And unless you've been living under a rock or you're just not in this community, which I don't blame you at this point, the Gotham Knights gameplay a couple days ago has some mixed reviews. I mean, I personally, I'm still going to buy the game, but I made a video a couple days ago, and a lot of people are criticizing it for a lot of different reasons. And me personally, specifically, it's the traversal. I feel like they're trying to make each hero too different, and this will be a video kind of dissecting why they're trying to do that, and why it might be good, but why a lot of people, including me, think it's bad, and how it's going to play out in the actual game. And of course, I am talking about the four knights themselves: Nightwing, Robin, Batgirl, and Red Hood. Now, they're trying to make them all different and unique and not like Batman, with the exception of Batgirl, who I feel like is going to be the most like Batman. And let's just get this out of the way. The traversal, which is what is just so bad. Like, people are like, the Fortnite glider and the spirit jumping. It looks absolutely ridiculous. I made a tweet pointing out why they didn't just use the wingsuit. Nightwing has a wingsuit, which, by the way, I honestly did not know that, and I consider myself like a Nightwing fan. Like, I'm ashamed I didn't know that. And then someone responded with like a picture of him from the animated series. I'm like, yo, I think it's like the new animated adventures, isn't it? And I'm like, yo, to be fair, I don't think I ever watched the second animated series, but still, like, I feel like I should have known that. But anyways, the developers definitely should have known that, and they definitely did. There's no way they didn't if they're looking for information about these characters that they're making a game on. Why didn't they use the wingsuit? It was a conscious choice, and they didn't use it because I think it's pretty obvious. They're trying to differentiate them all gameplay wise. Batgirl will be gliding like Batman in the Arkham games, presumably. Robin is teleporting with the Watchtower, if you don't remember from the gameplay a couple of years ago trailer. And that's like, okay, I guess it's like he could have been gliding too. And Nightwing could have been gliding with the wingsuit, but whatever. And then you have Red Hood jumping everywhere, and you have Nightwing flying. So you have flying, gliding, jumping, and teleporting. Now we haven't actually like seen Robin teleporting around the city. We saw like a glimpse of it in the trailer. We're not sure how this will actually work, and of course they could have changed it in the 2 years it's been. But from what it looked like, or from what I remember at least, I might be misremembering, he just teleported once. And I'm not sure how the teleporting is going to work. I don't know if it's basically going to be like you press the teleport button and then you can teleport buildings at a time, or if it's only a short like 5-second teleport like we saw in the trailer. Is that the max distance you can teleport? And if so, does it have a cooldown? Because if that's the case, if you can only teleport like 10 feet and then it has a cooldown, that's useless. And if it doesn't have a cooldown, then it just looks ridiculous. You boom, 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 all over the city. And then if it's like limitless teleporting, where you're going a long distance, it's basically just flying, and then it's just like, why? But sure, I hope it'll be fun, but that's just what I'm most concerned about. I don't understand why. Well, I understand their reasoning for why. I just think it's stupid why they all didn't just glide everywhere, because that just would have been such a better traversal. Batgirl is fine, but let's talk about Red Hood for a second. People are criticizing his traversal the most, and honestly, I don't think it looks as ridiculous as the Spirit Glider, and this is my honest opinion. If this was done in a comic where the Lazarus Pit somehow gave him powers, I don't think it'd be that bad. I think it's kind of cool. It's kind of unique, like, oh, okay, he has a couple of extra abilities, but overall, I think it's unnecessary. I do think it looks ridiculous, just not as ridiculous as Nightwing's glider. And I think that, well, for example, I've been playing a lot of Ultimate Spider-Man recently. I've just gotten into it again. And you jump around a lot as Venom in that game. And let me tell you, that is fun. Running around the city, jumping everywhere after Electro in those chase sequences, climbing on the buildings. And honestly, it's really fun. Like, it's actually really fun. And that's what I think this gameplay is going to be. I think it's going to feel fun. Teleporting around, gliding around, flying around, and jumping around. It's going to feel fun, quick, and easy to get around the city. It just looks ridiculous, which is why I don't think we can judge it with a knee-jerk reaction, because it's actually going to be fun to play, hopefully, but it looks ridiculous, and that's the main problem here. Why didn't they just do all of them gliding, and then Red Hood could just, have the motorcycle, and that would be completely okay. Especially in what we see in the gameplay demo shown yesterday. He was still jumping like 5 feet in the air, grappling. Like, it would have worked with if he just had a grapple gun. It just would have been a little bit slower, but it would have been fine. But the reason why they didn't do it is because they wanted variation with the gameplay, which honestly isn't such a bad thing. Like, I'm not the gameplay director. I can't critique this because I haven't played it yet. And I do hope it's fun. But of course, then it boils down to the combat. Is the combat going to be fun? I'll make a video on that later because I'm worried about it. It looks stiff. It doesn't look that good. And it's a problem because when you have co-op, it's harder to make co-op melee combat. We're going to talk about that later. I just personally, if I was making this game and I was God, I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have tried to differentiate them all because there's no real need to. There's no real need to have that variation there. You could have them all gliding and it would be okay. It would be cool. You can have a slight, like your Batgirl and Robin can have a cape and Nightwing can have the wingsuit, and you can have a slight variation in how they glide. Maybe there's a little bit of a difference in elevation and how powerful their cape is. But I don't think it would have been that bad to have that. But obviously, they've been working on this game for 7.5 years. Well, not even 7. How long has it been since they made their last game? Doesn't matter because they've only been working on this game for a few years since their last game was canceled. Whenever that was, I can't keep track anymore. And some might say that, and then this is a fair criticism, that they're trying to differentiate them too much, and I would agree, because the Lazarus Pit giving Red Hood magic like that, it would be okay if it was its own story and that was like the normal for Red Hood. But when it's thrown off to the side like they are doing, when they're just doing it just because they want to differentiate them and not because they're trying to give Red Hood more depth to his abilities or to his character even, then it concerns me. Then they're just doing things just to do them, which is why I am concerned. And they just want to put a magic character. And well, by the way, the Bat family has always had like almost a strict rule of no magic. Like, it's always been no special abilities, no superpowers, anything like that, which is why Dick Grayson never married Starfire, because they didn't want that. The Bat family is its own thing. The writers have always been kind of sticklers about that rule, so it is weird to see Red Hood having those abilities, but at the end of the day, who cares? As long as the game is fun, that's just the concern. Is the game going to be fun? I guess we're going to have to wait till October 25th to see, or October 23rd. When does it come out? I don't even know. October 25th, whatever, Tuesday. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for your attention. Any feedback, positive, negative, I'd love to take it. And thanks you guys for watching. Stay awesome, y'all, and peace. Oh, subscribe too. That'd be helpful.